All right, guys. Hi, welcome. Ella Ivy here with livzenastrology. I was told to pop on here. I wasn't gonna, but I don't know, man. I'm feeling this moon approaching Aries, and there's this. I had to get my dance on. There's a square happening right now in the sky, and it's pushing us to move. So I was forced to talk about this in a way because I'm in this flow, this 80s, 90s jam. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this down a little bit. I'll probably get copyrighted, but that's okay. The music is what inspired me to pop on here today. And, I was called to share my experience as of late, especially in regards to what's happening on the planetary energy field, what's happening within my body. If you follow this channel, you know that Lives on Astrology comes from all as self. So there's nothing outside of us that's happening right now that's not directly being somewhat projected from our inner reality, if you will. And this is just, again, my own deep dive, my own understanding, my own gnosis of how the cosmos works and how I see energy, right? My own unique perspective. I have Aquarius third house for anybody that follows astrology or speaks on astrology. And so this was a conversation that came through because of an event that happened. And I'll have to find the video that I was posting when this happened, but this actually happened a few nights ago. And it's taken me, actually, I think it's about a week now, because I told two other people when this event happened, because I was freaked out about it, right? Because this was so unusual. And again, getting and learning to be in my body in a new way has provided a new reframe and a new experience of what's happening as I'm paying attention to what's going on in my body, right? More coherently, just really paying attention to what I'm consuming, to what I'm processing, digesting. Anyway, so this experience came through where I was sitting there and I had shared, you guys can check out on my page where I shared prolifically this gentleman talking about the language and how it's been used, especially in our political structures and our governing bodies, right? Again, this is for entertainment purposes only. This is just entertainment purposes, just a story. So it's my story, and it feels relevant because, again, I've been working with collective conscious energy since I incarnated here. My configuration specifically is tied into the collective energy field because of where I'm at in the 12th house matters and why I've always felt this resonance towards working with big groups, big communities. We're here for the world. This is the time of Aquarius. And so having that understanding and that being my anchoring or anchoring point, all is self, when things happen to my physical body, I know that there's something happening in the energetic field, and because I'm tied to earth, excuse me, because I'm tied to earth energies, just again, from my own gnosis, my own understanding of my own energy field, when something's going on the earth plane, it happens directly to me. It happens to my physical body. And maybe you guys can put in the comment if anybody relates to this. I'm going to go ahead and open the chat just in case. I'm going to open up this conversation because I feel like what I was told is, it's why I'm wearing my crown today, right? And woke up dancing, is because today, in this time period, as we're entering the solstice, we are in a precipice of something brand new, a new energy field coming through. And so I'm really feeling the Mars energy, especially with Saturn and Neptune conjunct in Aries, which is ruled by Mars. So this warrior type protective energy field is coming on, and it's like coming through my electrical system. And I said, okay, what do I do with this? And first thing in the AM Grand Rising, I heard dance, right? Just dance, put on some amazing music. I heard some music. Actually, Prince has been coming in a lot for me. And the song 7 has been coming in a lot, really just the word. If you look at the language of that song, it's actually very powerful. So Prince has been in the field, and plus Prince is a Gemini, and we're in Gemini season, right? So there's just a lot of configurations that are, pay attention to when songs come in, they're playing in your head, or you see a piece of paper that says something, right? Because you are talking to you at all times. You just have to learn how to listen and tune in to what you are saying to self with this Akashic field material rain that you created around you, right? And leave space for magic, leave space for new ideas or things or events to come online for you. So this came on pretty prolifically. Again, going back to this story that I was sharing, I posted it on all my Facebook feeds, or all my feeds, rather, my social, about this gentleman talking about how the language is a spell and how it's tied into law, right? And so I'm just sitting there in the chair. Again, this is about a week ago, just minding my own business. I put send and I sent that out, video out. And all of a sudden, my right ankle was on fire. It felt like I had twisted my ankle. And I know what that feels like because I used to play basketball when I was a kid, right? And I've twisted my ankle several times. So I felt that like energy pop. It was immediate. It was very acute, Mars. And it was very prolific. And when you study astrophysiology, the ankles rules Aquarius, right? And so that's immediately where my mind went. I'm like, wait a minute, this is, because my mind can process terabytes of data pretty instantaneously if you practice with it. So I was seeing all these different configurations, and the acute pain was making me very present to what was happening. And I feel like that pain serves a purpose in that way if you can really get the message of it, so it'll move through you, because it's almost like a dissonant energy field that you picked up on as a radio receiver of your body. And so it's learning how to interpret what you're seeing. Again, this is all about energy, vibration, frequency. And so what frequency are you on that's creating that what appears to be pain in that part of the body, which may be the earth, right? Because this is all what I was seeing. And so, and it was getting so, again, cute that I couldn't even walk, right? But I heard, and I was asking my ancestors for help, because I don't pray to a God anymore. I don't pray to anything outside of me. I don't pray at all. I don't pray on anything. But what I do is I command the energy. I question. I immediately go, okay, I'm uncomfortable. I'm out of resonance. What's going on? And lately I've been working with the ancestors, again, who are all self. And my dad just recently transitioned back in January, so he's been definitely with me in the field, as well as a dear friend of mine who took his own life. But again, hearing this is choice point, death is not what we think. So I've been really working with these frequencies, these energies, right? Again, it's even sometimes hard to share these things because, not wanting to be seen as crazy. But I heard it's time to let your freak flag fly and share your SSBs, which I call secret spiritual behaviors, that attune you to different frequencies of energies that may not everybody will understand. And that's okay. That's not for everybody. This is not for everybody. But for those of you who are experiencing perhaps dimensionality, energy in a different way, then this is for you, right? This is sent with the intention to reach you. And this story is intended to empower you, because there's weirdness happening on the planet right now. And there's a certain part of my cynicism that doesn't necessarily believe all the, nefarious things or the capabilities, especially when it comes to technology. But this is my life lesson. And especially with Pluto and Aquarius right now, we're being revealed things that have been hidden, have been on the underground, that have been repressed, if you will. Pluto's bringing this to light for our rectification, is what I'm hearing, for our resolution, for our ability to alchemize these frequencies and these energies. But it's about coherently understanding what's going on. And so when you can tune into your body from that frequency of complete coherence, right? Complete Fibonacci spiral, but actually spiraling in a different direction. So it's actually life affirming and not, anyway, coming back to the frequency. So when I was sitting there, I heard, go get Epsom salt, get some baking soda, get some borax, and get some apple cider vinegar and soak your foot, right? Because I was also at this time detoxing. I had been doing a parasite cleanse. And at that part of my body, I could feel something was leaving. And I can't explain it. It was energetic. It almost felt like something was moving through my leg. It's the hardest thing to explain. But I understand that because I set the intention to remove parasites and to remove these energies or entities. And in my meditative practice, I was also imagining them like just releasing themselves wherever I had systemic parasites from however long, if I inherited them in my genome, wherever I was that attracted these parasites, I was ready to release it, right? So I was really working on these frequencies, and all this before this event happened. But then again, I asked my ancestors, what do I need to do? And they immediately gave me a solution, right? So I soaked my foot and I was using magnesium spray. I had all the tools there with me while my foot was inflamed. And so I just kept breathing through this event, asking my body, what is this? What do I need to do to support this whatever event's happening right now? Just looking at it very detached as I could. When you're in pain, it's hard, but I feel like that's the practice and the mastery, right? Very Aries. And that's why they practice, getting in the arena. It's like learning how to work with your body, work with your energy fields in a coherent way when there's opposing energy. And pain appears to be an opposing force, right? You want to get out of it. You're uncomfortable and you're made very acute senses. You're very put in your body right away. So when I was, again, asking my body, I kept seeing the earth, like the part of the earth that was residing in my ankle, right? Because if all is self, then I'm the earth. Then I'm connected to the earth. And when I feel something in my body, that means there's something happening on the earth plane that's connected to that, what's happening. And so I'm listening to REM right now. I have to be playing music in the background. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not, but anyway, there's messages in the music right now, which is very efficient. So coming back to this event horizon in my foot, and guys, I've been taking good care of myself, so I haven't been in pain. So I knew this was, I don't want to call it an attack, but it was an attack in a way. It was my body attacking itself to make me aware of, hey, there's something happening on the earth grid that's residing in your foot and it needs your support. And so in my warrior mode, I'm like, what do you need? I immediately went into my inner Mars, right? What do I need to defend? My inner white blood cells started going. My immunity got kicked in really quick, right? And so I was told to, come to bed. This whole process lasted for at least almost 2 hours, where I was in this acute pain before I resolved it by really asking again the ancestors, what do I need? What part of my body? What does this part of the earth need for me to do right now? Just getting very clear and focused, right? Because acute pain will make you very clear and present. And ironically, again, I went into this mother mode of I needed to protect. And all I heard once I was able to settle down and get into my bed, and then I was told to put a certain oil on, deep blue, and which had wintergreen and different minty peppermint. So it settled me down enough to ask, what do I need to do? And I heard my inner Mars say, send it joy, send it love, dance around the energy. And I was a bit confused because, when you think you want to send healing, you're like, imagining like I'm sending healing loves of wave, which I've done, right? And protection and this whole mother, protective thing. But what I saw Mother Earth was saying is actually, I've got the protection grid on. I need your joy. I need your love. I need your bliss. I need your freedom lovingness, your ability to just express yourself freely and openly, without judgment and without concern for the other. Just be yourself. Just be in joy. And so I said, okay, that seems weird, but I'm just going to send you waves of energy of joy right to my foot. This is what I was doing, talking to myself to, get me out of this pain body that I was experiencing. And so now today, when I woke and looking at the configurations of the sky where we have, Jupiter and the sun getting ready to square off this energy, I think there's an exact square happening. And squares usually mean change. Something has to shift, right? And so this could be a very dense energy for those of us. Let me go and look at the astrology. Let me share a screen because I want to be able to see exactly what the square is. I was processing this. Hold on. Here we go. Now, if you guys can see that. Let me see. Yeah, look at 17. So I'm going to look at it today. Today's the 18th, which is also a 9-day. Thank you guys for still being here and being patient. Again, this was a impromptu share. Let me make sure that I'm on the right screen here. Here we go. So this is the energy right now. We've got the moon in Pisces. It's conjunct the North Node. We come to learn. You can see this Aries stellium that we have here with Saturn and Neptune. We've also got Chiron there, a wounded healer. As you can see, Mars just entered Virgo. Okay, that makes sense. Getting to move the body, right? 0 degrees. So we have new energy. Mars wants to take action in a new way, which makes sense because what I was seeing today is my guides were like, just keep dancing, just keep dancing. And then all of a sudden, I'm imagining the wars that are happening and things that are going on in the Middle East. And I see all the soldiers and the drones. I see the drones just start spinning, right? Like they're almost dancing in the sky. And then I see the soldiers, right, that maybe have these weapons of war that just start dancing. It's almost like that movie Mask by Jim Carrey, right? All of a sudden, where these beings of authority just could not stop moving their body in a Kundalini way that was more proactive and not reactive. It was more, I'm here to serve, I'm here to protect, not I'm here to destroy, because we've had enough destruction, right? So it's taking command of the energy in a new way. It's taking that Mars energy that has been very volatile and very in destructive mode, especially with Eris there, it's been conjuncting. And so there's chaos right now. There's this appearance of chaos, appearance of. But what I'm hearing is that the more that you can command your own ship and get into your own frequency, and even the song right now, I'm alive. And so, getting into that Kundalini flow where the masculine is more in his primal sexual, which is not, but in the higher mind, right? So the higher mind is Aquarius, and primal sexual would be protection, creation, right? It's time to create. So whatever we're imagining that's happening, or the story that we're being told, what's happening in this Middle East, right? The middle parts of us, or the eastern part, Middle Eastern part of us, depending on which directions you face, that there's abilities to change your frequency by joy, pleasure, and bliss. This is Pisces, right? Getting into your bliss state. This is getting into oneness, right? Rewriting the stories within you right now, real time. And being able to reconfigure, this is also Mercury and Cancer, right? Feeling what would life look like without war, and watching the soldiers become, these dancers, these creators, these builders, right? So being able to regrid this within our minds first, and paying attention to our bodies. If our bodies are speaking to us, I'm going to quit screen sharing here. If our bodies are speaking it to us in a new way, that wants to move in a different way, right? And instead of warring with ourselves, we're actually honoring ourselves in our own individuality, our own SSB, secret spiritual behavior, and that it's okay to look at yourself in a new way. And I will say, after I got the downloads of what I was receiving from my foot hurting, and seeing that it was attached to a part of the earth, and then I was seeing some underground stuff that was happening, right? There was some, like a frequency, I say war, but there was a frequency game being played, and the earth was asking for my help. And she had to get my attention by sending acute pain to my foot. So I knew exactly where to go, that Aquarius part of the earth plane, wherever that is, right? The plane Aquarius or Uranus, which is in the earth right now. And so I had to send that plane of existence, the energy of joy and bliss. And again, my imagination, by seeing any warring tribes or warring factions dropping their armor and starting to dance and to release the energy in a new way. So this is the channel that wanted to come through. This was sort of the conversation that wanted to be expressed, especially since we have all this Aries right now. And we've got Mars that just entered Virgo. So it's about massive healing. It's grounding into our bodies. It's paying attention to our bodies in a new way. And so I would just humbly ask that when your body talks to you, especially acutely like that, when it was out of the blue and you're not used to having that type of pain body, that it might be telling you something. And astrology is such a good pointer to looking at as above, so below, what might be happening cosmologically that's being reflected in the body and that wants support, right? Through your love, through your attention, through your commanding the ship and commanding the energy within you. It's an inward out expression. This is part of the evolution that we're moving through Pluto and Aquarius. So, all right, I feel complete in this transmission. Thank you guys so much for being here again. I did not plan on, I just was like, all right, because I'm washing my face, and I heard put copper on and go, because if not now, when are we going to do it? It's time to be yourself. It's time to be your authentic self. I was getting the image of, it's like you're on the 10-yard line, man, and you're right there. Like, don't drop the ball now. You see football images are coming out. I don't watch football. That's my Aries talking to me. So any way that works, right? However spirit gets your attention, I just roll with it. So all right, thank you guys for connecting to this channel. May it reach you whenever it reaches you. May this energy find you well, and just know that there's a powerful way to transmit this energy, and it could be through dance and joy and bliss. And I know we've been through the gloom and doom and pain, and a lot of us are still going through that right now, but there is a way to alchemize that. It's not easy. It's a practice. It's a mastery, but it's a great level of mastery. It's like becoming, the warrior going into the arena. I think of like the ancient samurais, right? Or at least the archetype of the peaceful warrior that just continues to cultivate themselves, right? Their bodies, their mind, their spirits, and connect to that daily through action, through movement, through intention, and through purity of heart, right? So the new sign off I was told to do to share with you guys, right? Because I love the wholeness, right? So high heart, high mind, high soul, or high wisdom. Yeah, high soul. Anyway, much love to you guys. I love you. All right. Hope you receive this in the manner it was given, which is much love.